part of the session to Dean T. Huggins, who's former chair of Federation for Community Development Learning. Thanks very much, and over to Dean.
Thanks very much, Jim. I mean, I'd like to say, before going into anything else, I want to say thanks very much to, good morning. Good morning. I want to say thanks very much to Bath Spa University and the Southwest Foundation for setting up the partnership that enabled us to get down here and be in this beautiful space with the lovely green all around us. I just want to say quickly a bit about myself. Former chair of the Federation for Community Development Learning. I work with the Sunderland Black and Minority Network, which is a support organisation for black and minority groups in Sunderland. And I am sort of convener, chairperson of the Ubuntu group. And I also would like just to say, Ubuntu actually as a concept was something that came across back in 1980-something when one of our sort of former activists came back from South Africa and brought the concept of Ubuntu to us. Now we've got a bit more currency with Nelson Mandela and Clinton, I think, even using the phrase. But that's the concept that you're not a human being by yourself. I am human through you. And I think that's really quite an important concept of community development. No one is an island, as it were. Creating changes is a piece of work that's been brought around in terms of promoting the use of community development approaches and working with people at grassroots. And it's creating changes in organisations that work with communities and creating changes in the communities themselves. And it's one of the many things that the Federation has been involved in. I mean, I've been involved in the Federation since I first took part in what was called the Federation for Community Work Training Groups, since I first took part in a training program in 1984, which was called Working with White Professional Colleagues. And it was quite interesting leaving the colleagues behind to go and work on that one, because people always feel threatened by those sort of language and terminology. There's also issues with black community development workers. And I got introduced to a way of working with communities, which is around participatory work. And the Federation has been very much an organisation that works with community groups, organisations at a national and local level around participatory working and using community development principles to support the work. Things to say along the way of the Federation's operation. It was one of a number of organisations, including Community Development Foundation, BASAC and others, that helped to set up what became Community Development Exchange a long while ago. It's been involved in providing training for, as I say, community groups at the grassroots level, but also for national organisations. And it's been part of the process of developing, quite importantly, a set of standards which help to define community development work. The first one, a number of workshops that were held in Sheffield, in various people's houses, where we tried to say, what's this thing that we're doing, how do we describe what we do, and how do we get it valued? I think there's always an issue about valuing what we do when we're working with communities, because it's so much, in some ways, part of everyday life that many people around us have a question about what it is that we do. I think, and I'll say this, and I won't make too many references to it, and I've been told not to say it by Jan, that to me, it's part of what big society is. Big society for me is a rebranding of what people are doing ordinarily. It's what we do in communities, and so how we work and live together. The concern that comes for people with this particular set of rebrandings, and governments do it all the time, is that it comes at the same time as money is being cut. So you're never sure quite what the agenda is behind it. But for me, big society, community development fit together very strongly. It's communities working together. We support community-based learning as a federation, and we've been part of what was Lifelong Learning UK, which is now gone as an organisation, but the work that's been done around lifelong learning and community-based learning are a fundamental part of what the Federation is concerned about. We're concerned about the skill agenda. 2009, we were involved in reviewing the National Occupational Standards for Community Development. How many people have come across those? CD-NOS? Some? Who hasn't come across them? Okay. I mean, so quite a few of you have, and quite a few haven't. So half and half. But actually, they're quite, as I say, quite important in defining the work that we do and valuing, trying to get to a point of valuing the work we do. At the moment, there's also work that's been done on producing a guide to the Community Development National Occupational Standards, and I'm trying to avoid using the jargon that we probably talk in on a day-to-day basis, which is about how do you use them, how do you make them real in terms of the work that you're doing. And you have to keep an eye out for that because shortly and very certainly we're producing that for people to get hold of through the internet and directly from events like this. I think that one of the things that I think, I won't actually say more. Probably we need to. Oh, one more thing actually. I do have to say one more thing. Sorry, I am absent-minded. We have been lucky. Many of you may have been involved in putting in bids to the Adult Community Learning Fund that's being managed by NIAIDS. We have, as an organisation, been successful in getting hold of some of that cash, and we've been working with groups within, across the country. As always, the Federation works in partnership with other organisations, and we're working with them across the country to try and support, again, community development learning at a grassroots level, and to use that so that you can learn from the practice and reflection. One of the things that's come to my mind, as I said the word reflection, one of the concepts, and I'm going to introduce Susie Miller, who's the community development or training and development worker in the Federation. One of the concepts that's been brought into the Federation, again from Africa, is the notion of the concept, the Sankofa bird. Have you come across the Sankofa bird before? That some of you have. That's the bird that walks forward as it takes from it the best of the past. And I think that's one of the things about community development. Is we've had the Department of Business, Innovation and Skills, I was trying to avoid saying DBIS, had some learning funds, or some funding to support informal learning, informal community-based learning. We had a Sankofa festival, used from as part of that Learning Revolution, or Learning Festival, and across the country. Some of the images you'll see here, I don't know if they should be scrolling, but some of the images you'll see coming up are from the pieces of work that we've done in Bristol, the southwest, the southeast, the northeast, the northwest, and the central, north of the country, just around supporting informal learning. And that was a Sankofa festival, learning from the past and going forward into the future with the best of what we've done before. Enough rubbish from me now. I'm going to move on to introducing Susie Miller. She's the training development worker with the Federation, and she'll tell you more about some of the work we're doing. Thank you.